Hi guys, so what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk you through a phone call strategy, a follow-up phone call for those of you who run events to groups of people on a physio-related topic. And some of these might be talks that you're giving in the community regarding things like the GLAD program, or they might be talks that you're giving to groups of clients from your local personal trainer or in your local gym, or it might be events that you're specifically organising within your own clinic and you're marketing to existing clients. So I know some of you run various health or wellness summits. I've seen some of you run like a women's wellness summit or something like a stress management workshop, a pain management workshop. I want to give you a strategy for what to do afterwards when you've captured details of people, ideally their phone numbers. Okay, this is a strategy that I've used for a few years with Ultimate Physio, especially when I'm contacting, and I won't call them cold leads, but they're people that you don't know, like, and trust, and they don't know, like, and trust you already. Okay, so effectively you're going to phone this person. What's going to happen is when you phone them, they're either going to pick up or it's going to go to their answering machine. If it goes to their answering machine, I would leave a script like, "Hey, it's Nick from Scarborough Physio and Health. Just following you up after you attended my talk about the GLAD program at this particular location. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and call you again either later this afternoon or tomorrow." So I'd let them know when you're going to call them again in order to reach them. So I would try and I would literally try and call them, make 3 attempts to call them that day and the next day. And obviously, if you can't reach them there, you've got their email address and you can email them as well. They may call you back, they may ignore you. You probably can't do a lot about that as long as you do your best on the call and you're giving them some sort of information. Okay, so you get them on the call. They're probably thinking, oh, well, that speaker was really good, but they weren't expecting the call. So I would open it. I would say, "Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Nick from Scarborough Physio and Health. Thanks for attending my talk the other day." And the first thing I'd do is I'd engage them in conversation about the talk. So what did you think of the talk? How did you find it? What did you learn? Like, what were your biggest things for you to come out of that talk? And they'll give you a little bit of insight there. And just let them talk for 30 seconds or a minute or so. So you're forming just that initial common ground. And then you give them a small amount of info about yourself for credibility. So, my name is Nick. Been giving these talks for a while, but I've owned a physio clinic in the area for 16 years. What I want to do today is talk to you a little bit about your health and something I might be able to do to help you. So with any sales conversation, you're following a particular structure. The first thing is you're setting the scene for the person and where they're at right now in their life. The second thing you're doing is you're setting the scene for where they want to be in the future. The third thing you're doing is you're helping them understand what's stopping them and what's stopping them from getting where they're at now to where they want to be in the future. And the fourth thing is obviously the offer and asking for some sort of commitment. So let's use an example of, say, the GLAD program for osteoarthritis. So I want you to tell me about where you're at now and what sort of challenges you're having with your health. Chances are in the physio world they're going to be talking about pain. So I get a sore back and I get a sore knee. Oh, okay. Tell me a bit more about that. And then you ask a question like, how's that affecting you? What's it stopping you from being able to do? Okay, well, that's good. Thank you. And then the next thing you're doing is you're saying, well, if you think about the future, what are some of the things that you want to be doing in a couple of years? Oh, I'd love to be able to travel. I'd love to be able to run around with my grandkids. I just want to be able to stay in my own home. So you're trying to get an idea of what their future looks like and what their goals look like. So what would you ideally be doing in your life in 2 to 3 years if you didn't have this problem? And what are some of your fears and concerns? So you're drawing that out of them. And then the next stage is, you're talking about what's the gap. So if you want to get to there, what are some of the things that are going to stop you from getting to there? So, if you want to be able to stay in your home in 3 years, what's going to hold you back? Oh, well, I feel like I'm getting weaker. I feel like my balance isn't as good. And they'll start to talk to you about some of their challenges and their fears. And then when they talk to you about these things, if it's getting harder to get up and down the stairs, that's where you then will talk about the program. So you acknowledge their problem. So I understand that, what you're telling me is, you got a sore back and a sore knee, and in 3 years' time, you're worried that you won't be able to stay in your own home. Now, some of the things that you think that are contributing to this is you're feeling weaker in your legs and your balance is getting worse. So I now want to talk to you about the GLAD program. So the GLAD program is a particular exercise program where this is what we do. We do these things. These are the features of the program, and then from the features you have to go into the benefits to them. So the benefits to you are you will get stronger, your balance will get better, and what that will mean is you will feel safer going up and down the stairs, and what that will mean is you'll be able to stay in your own home for longer. Does that make sense? Okay, and after that you've got to have the irresistible offer. So what we've got is the GLAD program is an exclusive program, so you want to frame it with some level of exclusivity. Not everyone can get into it. It's only for the right people. We've only got 6 spaces into this program. So that being the case, the program this is what you do in the program. This is the cost of the program. And then after you give them that information and you've filled them into the benefits, you've got to draw out objections. So you've got to say, well, are there any questions you've got? Are there any things that you think would stop you from succeeding in this program? So it could be things like the common ones are time, cost, fears, like I don't want to go through pain or something like that. You've got to draw those things out of them. And then once you draw out those problems and questions and you address them, the next thing is to ask for the sale and ask for the commitment. So we've got a program starting in 4 weeks. You've spoken to me that this is where you're at now. This is where you want to be. This is the things that will stop you. This is how the program is going to help you. And these are your concerns that we've addressed. Now you ask for the commitment, you ask for the sale. And that's the process that I want you to take the person through on the phone call. Obviously, you've got to get them on the call first, and then you've got to be able to spend enough time with them to get that. But one of my mentors taught me if you speak to 3 people, one's always going to say yes, one's always going to say no, and good sales is to tip the third person from a no to a yes. Any questions? Just drop me a line, guys. Thank you.